So there is this road in southwest Calgary, and it's at the center of a long debate over how to pronounce it correctly. Is it Richard Road Southwest or Richard Road Southwest? Some people think this road was named after the Montreal Canadian Maurice Richard, who was a star NHL player, but not in Calgary. So I tried to look into where that story came from. I reached out to the city of Calgary and they don't have any record that it was named after Maurice Richard. I talked to some historians and they also don't really know where that story could have come from, except for Donna Mae Humber in her book, What's in a Name, Calgary. So in her book, she says, when the major streets were being named, the city's planning department was looking for something different than the standard English-sounding names, and they decided to name a street after a prominent French Canadian. So how do Calgarians say it? Let's go find out. So I'm asking everybody, how would they pronounce the road that we're on? So that's that sign right there.
Richard Road, and then I guess it helps that the bus also says Richard Road as well when I was coming here.
Yeah, okay. So when they announce it, they say Richard Road?
Exactly.
I would say Richard Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the anglicized pronunciation?
Yeah.
What would you say if I told you it might be named after a French-Canadian hockey player who was famous in the 50s?
I would probably say his name is still Richard.
We are on our way to meet a local historian. His name is Richard White. And if somebody knows something about this, it would probably be him.
Well, I call it Richard Road. I don't know that the Maurice Richard reference is valid. I think it's just a bit of a folklore, maybe an individual who said something. It makes for a great story.
So I think it still remains a mystery, even though my personal thinking is it's Richard Road, Southwest.
But it is interesting why this particular street attracts attention every few years. It doesn't really make any difference whether it's Richard or Richard or whatever, but you know, it's I guess one of those little quirks which are lovely. I love that as part of the everyday tourist. I love quirky things.